Hello, Internet, and welcome to the first edition of the SaR Podcast. This week, we probably didn't punch your grandmother. First up, Tree God, please introduce yourself, what you do, and where we can find you.
Hi there, Internet, YouTube, and other related people. I am a SAR Tree God. I do video game videos, just me herp derping around with friends. Um, Different perspective videos from Thorin, who will be introduced later, and Mortinian and Heimdall here. So, I do League of Legends videos more than other videos. So, and you can find me on my channel at SAR Tree God on YouTube. So, look it up.
Heimdall.
All right, hello. I am SAR Heimdall, and here's one for y'all. Old chemists never die; they just stop reacting. Huh? Yeah? You guys? Laughs? No?
God, that's so
No?
bad.
Okay. Anyways, like I said, I am SAR Heimdall. On my channel, you can find lots of videos playing with the guys here, and expect more soon of lots of playthroughs and things, as I will have a little bit more time this summer. Still in school, but time is more ample during the summer. So that's me. You can find me on Twitter at _MRandall and on YouTube at SAR Heimdall.
And Thorin.
Hey, SAR Thorin here. This background is not going to be my permanent background, but if you like it, maybe I'll just green screen it or something. So I will hopefully be getting into some videos, just playthroughs, that sort of thing, kind of develop my style. Hopefully over the next couple of months or so, as I have time. I'll probably be less active than these guys starting out, so you want to check them out probably first. But that's probably about it for me.
All right, and my name is SAR Mortinian. I'm hosting this podcast here, much like the rest of these fine fellows. I do gaming videos and all that fun stuff. Yeah, that's basically what I do. You can find me here at my YouTube channel, which the link is provided for in the description below for all of us, actually, and on Twitter as SAR Mortinian, SAR, that is _Mortinian. And I believe that's the round of intros. So a couple just quick little things to note for everyone. We are aware that Heimdall does not have a video and that Thorin's video is a little bit sketchy, if you will, right now. That's going to be resolved, but it's the first week. The background is minimal. The sound is as good as we can make it. We're getting it started. Don't worry about it. It'll be better in the future. So see.
We hope.
Heimdall has a quick question.
Sure.
I was wondering, what exactly is a Mortinian?
Mortinian is a horrible amalgamation of fake Latin. It came from me playing a Death Knight in World of Warcraft, because Mortinian roughly translates to born from death. So, haha, see how that works.
WoW still lives.
WoW lives forever. I mean, 2 of my posters right now are World of Warcraft. So, that's just...
To that question, I say, what is a Heimdall?
Everyone knows what a Heimdall is. You've seen Thor.
God.
If you're listening to this podcast, you better have seen Thor, because Heimdall sees all, and he's pretty awesome. So.
Well, we definitely know what a topic of conversation in the future is going to be. But all that being said, so what we do on the Shenanigans Ridiculosity podcast is we talk about whatever the hell we want to talk about. Generally, that's going to revolve around geek, gamer, or nerd culture to some extent, because that is what we, in fact, are at Shenanigans and Ridiculosity. So this week, I've got a decent list of topics that we're going to talk about. So I'm going to throw the first one out there and just kind of let everyone talk about it. I'm going to back off for a minute, only interjecting when I see something, and we'll see how that goes. So, Star Wars 7, the upcoming film in the Star Wars franchise, will be coming out. I believe the goal was sometime in 2015. And presumably that's going to be pretty awesome. But on top of that, a recent news item has been that Harrison Ford, who is one of the actors coming back to reprise his role in Star Wars, has done some sort of damage to his ankle and is currently being taken care of.
I can do the or the Kessel Run in 12 parsecs, but I can't walk through a door.
So thoughts and discussion.
Oh.
On the movie or on him busting his foot?
Yes.
Well,
yeah,
maybe.
I didn't hear the answer.
Just go, whatever you want.
Just
Come on,
discuss
guys.
about the movie, I suppose.
I know we're new at this, but let's do this.
All right, so I will open up. I will open up because I can honestly say, I'm going to dig around here, I can honestly say that out of everyone in this podcast, I am the biggest Star Wars fan, okay? I am certainly the biggest Star Wars fan. You know what these are? You know what these thingies are? They're freaking USBs. That is how much of a Star Wars fan I am. USBs. Whole collection here. Okay, so, given that, I think, personally, as a big fan of all of the extra universe that they had, the decision of Disney to throw everything out, and the only canon being the 6 movies and the animated series, while I think that was a smart move on their part, because they don't want to, upset fans with screwing up timelines and things like that. I think that is going to ultimately end up being kind of their downfall, because, extended universe, there's a reason that it's there. It's amazing, and there's so much good stuff. General Thrawn, Vector Prime, you could go on forever. Death Troopers, all of the stories with the 501st. So, all these things are, no longer canon. And personally, I'm kind of hurt by it, but I am excited to see the movie.
And the unfortunate thing is a lot of those extended universe, realms of story were official according to Lucas and LucasArts and etc. They were set in stone as not just this is a really cool fan work, so we put it in the extended universe, but this is official canon storyline up until Disney got it. So we've had fans looking at that stuff for more than a decade in many cases.
So then with that, so is it no longer canon because Disney owns it? Is that what they're saying now?
Yeah,
or?
basically whoever was directing or script writing for the new Star Wars film said that they don't want to interfere with any of that. They don't want to have to have an encyclopedic knowledge of Star Wars like Tree God, and so they just threw out everything that wasn't 6 movies, which pretty much everyone is familiar with, and the Clone Wars miniseries, which is something they were able to easily catch up on. And that prevents them from having continuity issues, but pissed off a lot of people.
Huh. They should just hire Star Wars buffs to check.
That's exactly what most people are saying. Is that they should just have people, like some of these writers, on their staff, going through continuity issues. But they decided not to. They decided it was far easier just to throw everything else out.
Well, and to kind of, I guess, play on the other side here. It could potentially be a good thing. While, yes, they are, it's not good to just completely throw out the story, and it does frustrate a lot of fans that know the other storylines. It does also create an opportunity for maybe another new storyline, to where, the way it went in all the books and everything is really awesome. But who knows? Maybe this movie will go in a new direction that's equally as awesome.
It's true, and J.J. Abrams is he's directing Star Wars 7, and he's done great work with Star Trek, even though people were very mad that script had deviated from the main plot of Star Trek. And and being a Trekkie, obviously I hate the way it deviated, and I was very angry at it, but looking back now, I mean, the movies are very, very good. It's an excellent story. I've enjoyed them immensely, especially when I got to Into Darkness, where I had already had to kind of been forced to accept the change of reality.
Yeah, and I guess that is a really good point in that, Disney has actually been doing a fantastic job with movies over the past 2 years. And so I think that this, while it's a step in a different direction, it's Disney. They've perfected the art of movie making. If there's anyone who can do it justice, it would be Disney.
I can see that.
So I agree with you in
Yeah, I
part.
really hope they do a
Heimdall.
good job.
I'm just saddened by the loss of my extended universe. Although we don't have to sit through the death of Chewbacca anymore, so...
That is true. That's true. That's a good thing.
Oh, so he's alive then?
Well, we don't know. It's in the extended universe. In the future, beyond the movies, he was killed. And keep in mind that when they're saying they're throwing it all out, they're not saying everything that happened in the extended universe is not coming back. They're saying don't consider anything in the extended universe valid. So they still, like, the death of Chewbacca might be a thing that they include in the movie. They could do it. It's entirely open to them, and I mean, they would be fools if they didn't at least pull some stuff out of the extended universe over the new trilogy, because it was just amazingly well written, as Tree God pointed out. So expect to see some of it come back. Just,
Hopefully.
Yeah.
I mean, Chewbacca's death was BA in the extended universe. If you don't know how that works, you should find out, because it's really awesome.
Oh yeah, it was amazing.
Amazing or sad?
And as a side note, I'm just
Both.
the other part of this topic that I need to throw out here is Harrison Ford hurting his ankle. At this point, Harrison Ford is I can't remember how old he is, so I'm gonna look it up here. Harrison Ford is 71 years old.
Thorin, good close.
He is a near geriatric actor at this point. I have no idea. And sorry, Harrison Ford, if you ever see this, I'm sorry, but you're really old.
He's about to stop reacting.
Exactly.
He's Shia LaBeouf's dad. I mean, come on.
Oh my god.
I will never forgive
That
him
is a
for
fair
that movie.
He's just, at this point, he's getting to that age where filming these action movies is something that I don't think he's going to be able to do that for much longer. And this is the first of many I'm foreseeing injuries on set where he hurts something. And I'm just, my vote is that he should, like, take a step back. He should just take a step back and, like, take a more stationary role, whatever he's doing.
He should be the Stan Lee of the Star Wars universe.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And be like, Han Solo never dies, he's
have
everywhere.
A
Oh god. A 71-year-old stunt double.
no, just for the rest of his, like, action movies. Just have him speak, and then have, like, a CG face over, and just have a stunt double do everything. Wait, so is that him walking through that door? Nope.
You got to be careful with that CG faceover stuff, though, because remember what they did in the X-Men First Class with the terrible Patrick Stewart face of CGI Doom. Got to be careful with that.
They also did that with Count Dooku as well in Episode 2. That one I went back and just watched recently, and it actually really, really stands out now. Like it's hard not to see it.
Another similar reference to that is the Green Lantern movie recently that came out. It was much better done than previous ones, but like when he's in the space scenes in his CGI'd suit, his head floating through space, it doesn't match. It's obvious that they don't match. Like if you're looking at it, it looks like a head floating through space on a green screen, which is what it is. It's what it is, but it's just
not supposed to look like that.
Every time it's been done in recent memory, at least that I'm aware of, it has turned out horribly. I'm really hoping they stop trying.
Yeah, you're spot on.
Such disappoint.
Oh, God. Okay. So, moving on to the next topic. We've got this last week here. I don't know how many of you were keeping up with it or watching the press conferences and whatnot, but E3 happened middle of the week. I can't remember exactly when it was. So I'll preface this one by saying I haven't really been a huge watcher of E3 for the last several years because it's been seeming to be kind of like a steady downgrade each year. And this year, two things. Oh well. A couple things didn't surprise me, but I was sad, and one thing did surprise me, and I thought it was awesome. Things that didn't surprise me, both Nintendo and both Xbox and PlayStation's press conferences were at best, in my opinion. I mean, they didn't show off anything bad, but they
There's nothing
weren't
super fancy.
Yeah, they weren't great by any stretch of the imagination. And I mean, Microsoft did better than last year. They didn't sit there and like stab consumers in the eye, but they were not impressive like they were 4 or 5 years ago.
Yeah, that was bad.
Yeah, but Nintendo though was a surprising good thing in that their lineup. I don't know how many of you watched it, but it was amazing. I could not believe the games that were coming out for the Wii U. It was.
It makes you want to get a Wii U.
Yeah, and I swore off consoles, and yet the Wii U.
It's getting there. Yeah.
I'm almost wanting to get it.
You know, I almost got a Wii U simply off of the fact that you can do the playing a game on the little controller while somebody's still using the television. That alone almost made me want to get a Wii U, and then I was like, but they're never going to come out with good games for that. And then, boom, Zelda.
Oh god, that new Zelda game looked so good.
Oh.
Yes.
I haven't actually played...
Also, have you been keeping up with Smash Bros. too?
Oh yeah, oh my god, the new Smash Bros. Was amazing.
Yeah.
Except for the Miis. I could have really done without adding the Miis in there.
I loved those things. Are you kidding me?
I guess.
The 3 different kinds.
Hey, when will you ever get a chance to go in and beat up on Pikachu?
Seriously.
I guess.
And you can do that with like a gun arm like Samus? Come on, it's awesome.
Come on, get on board now.
I think we'll have to watch that and see how that really turns out. It could be really good or it could be really bad. I'm excited to find out which it is because it sounds like a really cool concept.
But it's definitely going to be like a hit or miss.
Yeah, it's going to be one of those things kind of like Brawl was, and Brawl wasn't a bad game. Brawl was a totally fine game, but you noticed back when it came out that tons of people were playing Melee. Like, it was a huge game. It was amazing. And when Brawl came out, it didn't show anywhere near the numbers that Melee did. And in fact, it was a good portion of that difference. All of a sudden, there started, like, the original Super Smash Brothers got this huge following, and it was a, like, measurable section of that. And it was one of those things where I think Nintendo recognized that they screwed up hard with Brawl. But
Although I'm kind of a weirdo. I loved Brawl. I thought it was amazing.
I thought there were things in Brawl that they did very well, but I think overall as a game, it was somewhat down.
Subpar.
Exactly.
Why, out of curiosity? I'm just kind of wondering what your take on it was.
The story mode took so long. I mean, I love that they introduced every character, and I love that they had a really integrated storyline, but I must have put 30 hours into the storyline, and they were still introducing characters.
Yeah. Jeez.
Yep.
It was...
Right up until the very end with Sonic.
Yeah. It was just a little too much.
I've never been a huge Super Smash Bros. Fan, so I can't say that, I've got this really in-depth set of reasons for why I never liked playing it. But the two things that drove me nuts when one of my friends got it initially, because I've never had a Wii, obviously. I'm not that kind of gamer. At least I haven't been in the past with the new setup. I might end up being...
the new setup, though.
Yeah, some of those games. But so I went to play it at my friend's house, and he didn't have any GameCube controllers, and so we had to sit there and play it on the Wiimote. And this was the Wiimote before the Wii Motion Plus. So it sucked butts.
It was just bad.
I couldn't control my
The
character.
Wax Smashes?
Oh yeah, it was bad. I like
No
and
one uses that.
This
No
is
one
coming from a guy
clearly
who had a
says that
GameCube. Yeah, and this is coming from a guy who had a
Oh, yeah.
GameCube, like all the time was playing, but I just couldn't. And then the other thing was my character has always been Samus. I love Samus, and they completely sent Samus down the poop chute in Brawl. She, for competitive play, is basically worthless. She's a support at best on certain maps.
I would actually tend to disagree with you only because of I will name one name and it won't mean anything to you guys, but if you're out there watching right now, Chris Parker, you know exactly what I'm talking about. That man could take Samus and destroy anyone in Brawl.
Oh, I'm sure.
And he was just stupid crazy good with it. And it made Samus, at least in my eyes, perhaps that's a colored opinion, but it made Samus look like one of the stronger characters considering how good he was with her.
Individual skill can play into it, but the general consensus that I've run into is that her Super Smash ability is where she really fell short. And I really liked the idea. What they were going with there is the actual attack itself would be the weakest in the game, which it is. But the trick was that then you would switch to Zero Suits or regular Samus, depending on where you were, and they have radically different play styles. And the idea with that is by making that switch, you throw your opponents off, and they can't fight against you as well. The problem that they forgot to anticipate is that in Super Smash Bros., people who are really good at the game know how to fight every character.
Yep.
It takes about 5-10 seconds to switch over. So it ended up being weakest Smash in the game, and they were already prepared for your style change, and then you, as a player, had to make that style change rather than them having to adapt to it. It kind of backfired.
Which, I could be mistaken, but I believe they're separating those characters for this next one.
Yes.
I don't know
I
how
think
much
they
you
are,
guys have looked into
I'm pretty sure that they're separate.
But I'm pretty sure both of them are still in the game. So
Yeah,
I guess people liked the moves enough, but they're switching it over, which I think was a good idea.
I
that
agree.
they're splitting up those characters. Yeah, because people have unique styles of play with those, and the people who I knew that did play Samus didn't really like the fact that it switched you when you blasted it, because it was like, well, I'm really good with regular Samus, but I can't really play Zero Suit as well, or vice versa. Which, the nice thing that they did do with that is that you could start off as either of them, and that was true for any of the split characters, with Zelda and Sheik or with Pokemon Trainer. You could start off as any of them, but you could still switch. But yeah, a lot of people I ran into liked either Samus or Zero Suit. And so I think they listened to that, which is good.
I am so glad that they split Pokemon Trainer.
Oh God, yes.
That was one of the best decisions they could have made.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my gosh.
Hey, real quick question.
Yes.
How do potty breaks work in this podcast thing?
There's gonna be a break about halfway through the podcast, and that's your
Was
potty
that supposed
break.
to be a pun?
And if I can't make it to that far,
Then run as fast as you can, and we'll just keep talking without
I'm
you.
right next to my
I know.
bathroom. So
I'm just pee like the wind. Just
I'm gonna
pee
need
like the
internet
wind.
now. I'm right next to my bathroom, so it's not gonna be long. I love you, internet. I'll be right back.
Okay. Make sure to close the door.
Or you could just take off headphones, keep talking from the bathroom if you really need to. I mean,
Well,
you know,
we'll
you really
see
have
what
an
happens.
opinion.
And then the other thing that I found out that was sad, I didn't see this from the press conferences, obviously, but I found out about this from other significant gaming people who went to E3. It seems like what was happening this year is that the floor was really dead. Like in previous years, especially when E3 was in kind of its golden age, the floor, I remember seeing videos of it when I was watching E3 coverage, and it was just crammed. No matter where you were pushing your way through a crowd. Everyone wanted to do everything. It was huge. It was great. And when they made it, only press and video game officials could get in, could get tickets. That lessened to some extent, but it was still really busy. And this year, apparently, it was not that way at all. Like, lines were really short. Just things were not done to the same kind of level of hype. And there's a lot of theories as to why that is, but the important thing to note is that it was low. And so the question I'd like to pose to you guys, do you think E3 is dying? Like, do you think it's something that we're not going to be seeing after a couple years, in future years? Or are we going to end up switching to, like, each individual company just, like, at their own headquarters does a press conference just for themselves and uploads it to the internet, basically?
Okay.
I don't think. I think if E3 does die out, it's gonna take longer than a few years, because it's been around for a long time and it was so big. I mean, everything does definitely come down to a close, but I mean, maybe they'll change something to try and bring it back. But like you did say, there are a lot more companies individually doing their own thing. BlizzCon obviously is one that comes to mind right away.
Yeah.
And that is huge. Like, how fast did tickets sell out this year?
Oh, it's always in under 10 minutes.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Wow.
I think the BlizzCon where I got that poster, tickets sold out in under 2 minutes. In order for my group to get in, we had like 8 different people with multiple windows all refreshing the ticket sales page. And out of 8 of us, each having at least 4 windows open on incredibly high-speed internet, one of us got to the ticket page in time to buy tickets. One of us.
Wow.
Yeah. It is very difficult to get into BlizzCon.
But it's such a cool convention, though.
Oh, it's amazing. And if they didn't keep scheduling it in the middle of my semesters at school, I would still be going.
Yeah.
Yeah,
For
I feel like
instance,
if
there-
E3 were to die, no.
So, for instance, their musical feats as of late have been dropped at amazing. Mortinian is sporting one of the beautiful shirts from the elegant and wonderful Fighters of Fu.
They were the headliners last time I went.
At BlizzCon?
Yeah.
Yeah.
They had
Really?
the first year I went.
82 was this year.
Oh man. Anyway,
Wait, who is this year?
Blink 182.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. The first year I went,
Wow.
they had Ozzy Osbourne, and that was awesome. But they
Wow.
apparently standard Blizzard fans like did not know what was coming in an Ozzy concert, because he comes out and like starts a song and the entire hall is packed with people in these chairs, and then he pulls out the hoses and starts like nailing people with them, and just like half the people just leave.
Oh, you know why he does that though, right?
I actually don't.
It's because I went to Ozfest a couple times. No, only once. The other concert wasn't Ozfest. Anyway, Ozzy Osbourne can't control his bladder anymore. And so he actually, if he gets too excited on stage, which happens quite often, then he'll actually wet himself. And so he sprays water on himself and everyone in the crowd, so that spraying water on himself doesn't look weird, and the spraying water on himself covers up the wetness of his junk.
It's actually ingenious.
Huh.
Yeah.
But regardless,
That
though,
is
like
ingenious.
no one knew it was coming. Everyone hated it, so the amphitheater ended up getting like emptying itself basically, which was really sad.
Yeah.
That is sad.
The next year we had Tenacious D,
I hate you.
which was awesome.
I hate you.
And then the year after that, Dave Grohl came with the Foo Fighters, and because he was the drummer for Tenacious D when they did it, and after watching how awesome the crowd was, he actually contacted Blizzard and said, "Hey, can my band do BlizzCon next year?" Like, he asked Blizzard to go to BlizzCon. It wasn't the other way around. And that's where I got the
Wow.
shirt, and that was the last time I went to BlizzCon. So,
That's awesome.
really fun stuff.
Cool.
You can't forget
We
level
have-
70 Elite Thorin Chieftain.
Oh
guess
my
it's
God.
Level 90 now. Level 90 now. Almost 100 this fall.
I think one of the years I was there, they changed themselves to Tafcal L70 ETC. The artist formerly known as Level 70 Elite Torrent Chieftain. And they turned like the print symbol, but it had like horde stuff on it. God, it was beautiful.
I was gonna ask you if that was Prince reference.
It
Really?
was a Prince reference, and it had the entire center just laughing. It was really high quality. God. Anyway, all that back to saying that companies, I personally think that companies are going to end up going kind of more the BlizzCon route, where they're going to do their own press conference, their own convention to market for themselves, and E3 is going to become less and less of a thing over the years.
Now, do you think any of them will be nearly as successful as Blizzard is?
I don't know, because Blizzard has an
know.
incredibly rabid fan base,
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
but
No
Trying
one's
to
as good as
think of-
Blizzard.
I mean, Xbox
Smart.
can probably get one to get pretty hard.
Yeah, like with Halo and like that fan base. Because
Yeah.
I know a few people, they have a very fierce fan base. But
I think that fan base needs to die. Sorry, no, the series needs to die. The fan base, I love you guys. I actually think you're pretty awesome people in general, but the series needs to just die.
Master
it's
Chief
it's
never
not
dies.
as enduring as Mario.
No.
Not even slightly.
It's like the Mario of Microsoft. That's pretty much what they were going for.
It is. but
Here's
they
just
need
like-
to- It's getting to the point where, well, then again, I don't know. The recent 343 Industries game was that one 5? Was it 4 or 5? 4. Halo 4 was awesome.
It was, yeah.
Oh yeah, Halo 4
It
did
was-
really well.
It surprised me. It renewed my faith in Halo.
Ooh, tangent.
Certainly.
Tangent. What do you think of the Bungie and their game Destiny? It's Destiny, right? It's not the
Yes,
name of
it's
it?
called
Yes,
Destiny.
Destiny.
It's
Yes.
on the topics list, so we're just going to go into that. Want to play it so bad.
Oh, it
so
looks
bad.
so good. It looks so good.
The only problem is it's not out for computer.
I know.
And
That's
that's
going to be a struggle.
And
It's
because
not.
of that, I won't even get my hypes up anymore. I'm just like, man, it's pretty.
yeah. They've said it's
You
not
know-
impossible to bring it there, but it's not currently there, and I'm not going to buy an Xbox One for Destiny. It's not worth it.
Yeah, no.
It
Then again-
does look very pretty then.
We said the same thing about the Wii U. I'm not gonna buy it just for the one game, and now a bunch of other games. So who knows?
Yep, in the future, possibly, but definitely not right now.
Yeah, no.
What about you, Heimdall?
Oh, to play Destiny?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't have any plans right now to get any consoles. Maybe eventually. But one of my roommates, his brother fishes, so while he is away, we have his Xbox One. So if it comes out in that timeline, we will
Isn't it out
force
now?
him to. Is it? I thought it wasn't quite out yet.
Oh, no, it's not. It was alpha.
Yeah.
Pardon me.
That's-
The alpha.
No, yeah, it's an alpha.
Yeah,
Yeah, no, we will force him to buy it so we can play it.
makes sense.
Or either that, or we'll
Really?
just bite the bullet and buy it for him and play it.
Just be like, okay.
Merry Christmas 3 months early. We're playing this.
Yes.
Oh, man.
It was for you, but mostly for me.
But mostly for me.
Oh, God. All right, speaking of new games, actually, another great game that I think we should probably talk about is
Is this game wild?
not that. Not talking about that yet.
We'll get there.
No, Watch Dogs, which is that game that's come out for, I think it has come out for the PC because I've seen it in Steam. It's
Yes.
the game where you're a like magic hacker that can use a cell phone to hack into secure, like security terminals and road stuff. Tree God, you should go look up a YouTube video on it just really quick to familiarize yourself with it because the other two seem to know what it is.
Have you seen their live action trail or their live action promo for that?
Yes, God, it looked so good.
That was really cool. It was like a prank video. And and I don't want to really talk about it too much. I think you should go find it if you haven't seen it. But it is a fantastic. Like, I sat there on YouTube, like it was an ad on YouTube. I sat there for 5 minutes going, "What is this?" And at the very end, I was like, "Huh, that was very clever and well done." And now I want to play this. So it was, for me at least, a very effective ad that they did. So, well done. Well done for Watch Dogs.
I completely agree.
Hey, after we discuss Watch Dogs, I think we should discuss what we think of the live action trailers that have been coming out for games now. I've noticed quite a few companies are doing that. And do we think they're effective?
I think they're effective if they're done right.
Yeah.
Because that's the trick.
Yeah. And like the whole Halo Forward Unto Dawn thing. Did any of you guys watch that?
I did, yeah.
Wasn't bad.
Wasn't bad. You can find it on Netflix if you have a Netflix account. It is on there, the entire series. I think it's Forward Unto Dawn. They put a lot of work into, and if you watch it, it makes the events of Halo 4 make a little bit more sense. There's some things that are specifically in the game for people who watched Forward Unto Dawn. But the unfortunate thing is that the production quality of that was relatively low, because it was like didn't it end up coming up to like an hour and a half, 2 hours?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and just
it was
trying
like 15-minute episodes, I think.
Something like that, yeah. And just trying to do something that long as a promo, just didn't quite get all the way up to where we wanted it to be.
Yeah.
Which is not
all of that was a
surprising.
promo.
Forward Unto Dawn was a promo for Halo 4. They made an entire mini-series.
Are we not talking about Watch Dogs anymore?
We moved on to live-action trailers.
Here I am watching this freaking trailer.
No, it's fine. We'll go back.
You
All right.
can blame me. I continue to create the tangents.
So, what are your thoughts on Watch Dogs?
Here's my thing about video games. If you're going to base your video games in reality, and you're going to do everything that you can to make it as realistic as possible, having that one fantasy element ruins the what has somebody said, the suspense of disbelief.
Yeah, something like that.
It screws with me, and I don't like it. So I think that that magical phone hacking thing is quite while the idea is cool, I think that because everything else looks like it's pretty well based in reality, that one thing kind of deters from me rather than adds to the game.
Well,
but
keep in mind that it's supposed to be
say,
a slight future from us. Like,
yeah,
I think it's 10 or 20 years in the future, if I recall correctly.
I do gotta say, if that ever happens, I want the app for that. It's pretty great.
Yes, I heartily agree with that sentiment.
And I think the game looks really good, but I'm waiting for some more reviews on it, because when it was about to come out, a few reviews came out that kind of found it underwhelming. And I'm at the point where I don't want to throw a ton of dollars down on a game that might end up being, not what it was hyped up to be.
Yeah.
And that's my only concern, because from the outside, just from the promos and like the short gameplay trailers that we have seen, I think the game looks amazing. But
it certainly looks like it has its good points. So I'm
excited to see what happens.
So anyway, back to live action trailers. A lot of money was spent. It was good but not great, and I think it was kind of a flat reception for Forward Unto Dawn.
Yeah. I was pretty stoked for it when I first heard about it.
Oh yeah.
And then it was a little bit of, it's like it's still cool, but it's yeah.
It's not as cool as we thought it would be.
Indeed.
Were you expecting like a movie, and it wasn't quite
that, or what was the expectation there?
Master Chief.
Yeah,
Honestly.
I was expecting more of him, and he came in the end, and it was awesome. And he did the Master Chief thing where he comes in and guns blazing,
Rex
shoots elites, doesn't die.
He does that a lot.
Yeah, I mean, he has infinite overshield.
Exactly.
It does not.
Seriously though. Oh my gosh, I want that.
My main issue with it is because I started out the series when it's just Cadet Lasky in the facilities. It was great. The quality was amazing. I even enjoyed the story, and it looked perfect. But when crap started to hit the fan and the battle started raging off, it was patently obvious where the squibloads were, and that they were squibloads rather than actual explosions. The Warthog looked heh, and Master Chief's armor was just not up to snuff.
Yeah.
So it ended up being like, it was really, really good until the last episode or two, and then it looks like they just ran out of funding and kind of half-assed it to ride to completion.
That's disappointing.
Well, it's it's definitely understandable. Hard to do all that on unless you're on like a full movie budget and stuff.
Oh yeah.
Or just a promo.
But here's the thing: is that if you're going to go into if you're going to go into a project with a visual medium as what you're basing it off of, then you should pay a bit more attention to what it's going to take to get that same quality in real life. For instance, well, not real life, but in your production. And it brings to mind Avatar: The Last Airbender.
Oh, God, that movie never happened.
I know.
That movie never
Using
happened.
the visual medium of the cartoon, yeah.
Sorry, I had to.
They
I
had
to
something to base it off of, and they still screwed it up on a lot of ways, and I think that that's just a real letdown. Forward Unto Dawn was significantly less of a letdown than Avatar: The Last Airbender. I don't think any movie will ever be as much of a letdown as that one was,
I
but
agree.
it's the same
Wait,
idea.
do you know why? Like, do you know the backstory behind why it was so terrible?
No, what happened?
Or why they made the choices? Okay, so just as a very small anecdote, one of my friends wasted her 18th birthday on that movie.
Oh.
Because she was so excited for this movie. She loved the series, went to it, and it ruined her 18th birthday party.
No.
Absolutely ruined it. It was terrible. But the reasoning was that M. Night Shyamalan's kids were really into this series, and he's like, oh, I should make a movie of that. They like it. It sounds cool. And he did no research. He didn't even watch the first episode. He just went on what he'd heard about it and just was like, oh, that sounds cool. Let's do that, right? No research. It's like, dude, it's not that long. You could just watch the first season and get the gist of the world at least. It would have been 100% better. But no, he's just like, meh. Whatever. The Fire Nation,
M. Night Shyamalan, there's something happening behind this that I don't want to show on YouTube, but it is distinct and specific. Okay.
That is, everyone's thinking it. I'm just saying it.
Fair enough. All right, well, we are at about the time where we're going to want to cut to our break. So we're going to take 5-10 minutes, something to that tune. And everyone will see you and resume more topics of conversation when we get back.
Sweet.
And we're back. Hello, everybody. We missed you. We were looking at you seductively through the entire podcast. Okay, so moving right along to the next topic. I know that I'm familiar with this. Oh wait, no, we don't want to do that. Not right now. First thing we actually want to talk about. Pardon me. I'm crazy. Don't worry about it. There are reasons. First thing, Game of Thrones. It is a random, geeky, nerdy thing that I think would be good to talk about, especially some of the recent episodes and our thoughts thereof. Note, I have not seen the season finale yet that aired yesterday. I haven't gotten the chance, so...
So what happens is...
I'll kill you! Anyway, brain fart. First off, who's your favorite character, and why? Start with Tree God.
Peter Dinklage, Peter Dinklage, Peter Dinklage, Peter Dinklage, Peter Dinklage. Definitely Tyrion, I have to say. And why? Because he's a complete and total badass. It's very clear that when George R. R. Martin wrote the character, that he intended for him to be the end-all be-all badass of everything. Because he is the end-all be-all badass of everything. So, definitely Peter Dinklage.
Fair enough. Thorin.
So, I'm less familiar with Game of Thrones than probably, well, everyone else here. So, I've only seen the first couple of episodes, and I'm trying to remember the name of, and I was corrected, he's not a general, but the dwarf lord, I guess? The guy, he's like 2.5 foot flat and takes crap from no one.
Tyrion.
Peter Dinklage.
Okay.
His character name is Tyrion Lannister, but the actor is Peter Dinklage.
Okay. So yes, he would he would be my favorite because just the way that he acts towards people, and he's like one of the funnier characters in the series, at least from my very, very limited experience.
It continues.
With the show. Yes. Okay. Good. So yes, I would have to say that he is the funniest and strongest of the characters in that that I saw. So I liked him.
Works for you. So I'm going to break the mold of everyone loving Tyrion and actually say that my favorite character, at least at the moment, is Arya Stark. And it's... Stop looking at me like that, Tree God. Jeez. And the reason for this is because Arya is, like... Thorin, do you mind if I talk about the general arc?
Go for it.
Okay.
Go for it.
So she's had... Do you know what happens to Ned? Eddard.
That is my answer for you.
Okay. So we're going to do this as spoiler-free as possible because one of the people on the podcast is not doing their due diligence as a nerd. So something happens. She ends up separated from family, okay, and in a very dark place where she hates most people. There we go. Okay, that was about as vague as I could possibly make that.
That was very vague. I'm proud of you.
In the interim, she has decided that she hates certain people and is definitely going to kill them. And she meets an assassin from Essos, who is part of the group, the Faceless Men, who are like the super duper assassins of the universe. And she kind of took a shine to that lifestyle, and she's currently in the process of becoming this just super BA, and if someone's wronged me, I'm just gonna kill them, and I'm gonna do it just completely cold. And she's turning into this really hardline assassin-y person and becoming constantly stronger all the time. And she started out as a lady, if you can recall. I mean, it's a very tomboyish lady, but she's getting hard as all hell, and it's really cool. And I cannot wait to see what becomes of her.
And I can respect your preferences, you know? I mean, everybody's wrong once in a while, so.
Screw you. Screw you. Jesus.
I was waiting for that.
You're a horrible person.
I love you.
Okay. And Heimdall is unable to speak for a little while, so we'll just assume that he agrees with me.
No, we'll assume he
making-
goes with majority rule.
And making the podcast therefore even, and that way we can say we can all agree to disagree.
Oh.
That's how this works.
You're just mad because of the power of Peter Dinklage.
Look, Peter Dinklage is awesome, but he's like my he's my second favorite character, I would say.
Okay, you're redeemable.
Okay.
You're
Anyway.
redeemable. I
Next
guess
thing.
you're okay.
Who do you think? Which once again, Thorin, you're gonna have to go for it. And you're gonna have to make up a reason. Who do you think? Not should necessarily, but who do you think is going to end up being the king and or queen, as the case may be, of Westeros at the end of the books, and why? Because Tree God, I know that you would want to say Peter Dinklage.
No, actually.
No? Oh, well. Okay.
No. I don't think that he would do well as king. I think that he would do well as an advisor, to who I think would do well as the ruler of all the land.
Feel free.
I always get her name wrong. The Queen of Dragons, Mother of Dragons.
Oh, Daenerys? Yeah.
Yes, Daenerys. I keep thinking Denaria, and I don't know why, but Daenerys, yes. I would love to see Daenerys take control and rule over all the land. I think she's the greatest, other than Peter Dinklage. But again, you know, I think that he has his place by her side, helping her with decisions.
Fair enough. Thorin.
So, at this point, who is still alive?
I'm
go
not
with
gonna
that.
tell you,
You're not going to tell me. Okay.
because it
that
would be too much of a spoiler. So
If I giggle,
That is fair.
there's a reason.
I think it should be this person. I mean, I honestly don't think I know enough about the characters since I've seen like 1 or 2 episodes. I don't think I know enough to even
Of who you
venture
know.
a guess.
of who you know.
Of who I know.
Pretend I put the
Well-
gun to your head. You got to make the decision. Who and why?
You gotta make the decision. Well, oh gosh, who? I don't know why. Sean.
You, Nathan.
So I'm going to assume Sean Bean's character is dead because Sean Bean.
I've actually got a funny story about that when you're done. Just keep going.
Okay, awesome. So probably not him because I'm just going to assume he's dead because he's really good at dying, so they always kill him. But I think I'll just go with. See, I feel like Peter Dinklage wouldn't actually be. Would not want to be king as much, or would like he doesn't have as much ambition as some of the other people. Oh gosh, if I say the same person as you, Tree God, I'm gonna laugh. The blonde-haired girl who at the very beginning has like a dark attendant who protects her, but I feel like she doesn't really need protection as much. I don't know. Like there was kind of a darker edge. I'm taking you all the way back to the beginning. So
When you say blonde, do you mean
get-
like yellow blonde or white?
I believe lighter.
So, would it be fair to say that
Was
this
she
person,
kind of tan? Like, not much, but a little bit.
at that point, Danny wasn't
Not much,
tan.
but a little bit, maybe. maybe.
Did she go into a bath? Like a big.
She started. I believe she rode in on a white horse, and all of her attendants were walking. That seems like it should be. And it was like a grass glade.
Was her brother
And-
around? Like, her brother with the same hair color?
Oh, yes.
You're talking
You think-
about the
Yes.
North.
Well,
Am I?
Cersei also had Jaime.
That's true. Did he look like did the brother look like Prince Charming from Shrek 2?
He was.
No, literally. Did he
you're
look
asking-
like him?
He's the one who's touted as an absolute jerk, and everyone wants him to die, right?
Yeah.
On the internet, I mean.
Both
Not
of
necessarily
those
in the
people.
world.
Both of those people.
Both of those people. Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Both brothers everyone hated initially.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah, that was
The woman you're talking about, does her hair kind of look unnaturally dyed lighter? Or does it look like it's
Yes.
very natural?
Okay, I think he's going with
I
Daenerys.
feel like it's unnatural.
Okay, Daenerys.
You're probably going Daenerys.
Okay. It's really
And-
funny.
Wow, that
She
took a
just-
long time to sift
from
through.
the
Just-
initial meetings. Sorry, from the initial meetings, because I have like 1 or 2 episodes to go off of. From the initial meetings, she seems like she would be the person to do it best. But like I said, I don't really.
Oh, here's
have
the thing.
enough.
Was the person really passive or really aggressive?
She seemed more soft spoken.
Okay,
Yes.
yeah, definitely Daenerys then.
Daenerys, because
Yeah, she was definitely more soft.
Thunder, and I'm not going to say the second name. She was Madam Angry Face.
Yes. Yes, she was.
Uh,
So I'm just going to point out that great minds think alike because I was also thinking Daenerys, and my reasons are not for the same reasons as you guys. I don't think mine are because she. I think that the Targaryens should have ruled Westeros. I think that they earned that right. I also think they shouldn't keep breeding with each other because that made them crazy, and I don't think Daenerys will. I'm pretty sure Daenerys is going to, be a good Targaryen that's not crazy and still control dragons. So
And she seems to kind of redefine the whole order of things, so...
she does, and if you've been watching recently, she's actually a pretty solid leader, and the stream just had a glitch that I'm seeing
I was
now.
about to say, was it just me, or...
No. Well, I'm just going to keep talking and hope.
okay.
So, the funny story there from the initial section, Majigger,
Is that the
when,
technical term?
Right.
when you were talking about Sean Bean. So, I'm watching this
Yes.
initially with actually the wonderful gentleman in the comments, Nathan Cully, who is chatting with us, and I'm watching it so hardcore, and I'm loving it so much through season 1, and I think it was episode 7. I'm going to spoil this one for you. Of course, Sean Bean dies. Sean Bean always dies, and he
Well,
dies.
of course, he always dies.
I believe he dies episode 10.
I thought he dies at the season finale.
Yeah, so episode 10. But it's in episode 7 or 8, and I'm watching with Nathan, and I'm sitting there. I turn because at this point it's been almost it's been I think 6 hours of actual on-screen time, with that the show's been running, not including commercials. And I'm sitting there going oh my god, he's gonna live. and I turn to Nathan, who's already seen the first season, but he's watching it with me anyway because he's getting me into it, and I'm like, man, I'm so impressed that they're not going to kill Sean Bean. I can't wait to see what kind of an actor he is when he doesn't die. And Nathan's expression just flatlines. He won't give me anything. There's no smile, there's no frown, there's no nothing. It's just flat staring at the screen, refusing any comments.
Wow, well done.
And that resulted in me being no, please, no, oh god, no, come on though, Ned!
Gosh dang it. Yeah, he's a Stark, right?
Yes, Ned Stark. And he eventually died, and I was just screw this, I hate this all, the world is a worthless place. Worthless, I tell you.
This always
It is
happens.
just his curse.
It is.
This is why we can't have nice things. I don't think he dies in Oblivion, though. I believe he actually survives that.
He had a part in Oblivion?
Yes, he did.
Who was he?
Facts. He was, I believe, oh gosh, the and this is officially used, so it's not a swear word, the bastard son of the Emperor.
Oh, okay. Well, that would make sense.
Yeah, and I think he actually lives. I was like, wait, I went back on IMDb and was like, oh my gosh, this is actually Sean Bean. So he's gonna die.
Yeah.
So it was like, but surprisingly, he didn't. Yeah, I was impressed.
That's actually rather impressive. I was fully expecting that he died in literally everything he's ever done.
One does not simply shout Fus Rada in Whiterun. Sorry.
He doesn't die in National Treasure. He gets arrested.
Yeah, that's true.
It's the only
Okay.
other thing I've seen him in. Yeah, that's the only other thing I've seen him in where he doesn't die. But I mean, that'd be kind of brutal for the genre of movie that was.
Look, they probably just took him to the
Whoa.
electric chair, like, afterwards. They probably sentenced him to death.
See, that's what I was thinking. He just dies off screen. It's cool.
For your crimes against humanity.
Your crimes against the United States of America, and also because you're Sean Bean, we sentence you to death.
Yep. That's basically everything that happened.
You know
God.
what? And the ultimate legacy of Sean Bean is going to be that he dies in his sleep.
Oh my god.
In the real world, he's going to die in his sleep. Peacefully,
I think he's earned
calmly. I think he has.
I would
that.
agree.
I think he's earned that.
I would agree.
He's died way too many times.
Oh,
I feel
man.
like he deserves a peaceful death.
Zack Attack. Rest in peace, Ned Stark.
Also, one thing that I would like to talk about, it is a spoiler from season 4. Thorin, do you mind?
I've already had a couple of apparently crucial things spoiled for me, so I don't care.
Okay, as far as I know...
I'll probably watch it at some point, but yeah.
Fair enough. As far as I know, this one's not crucial. I've talked to my friends who have read the books, all of the ones that have been released so far, and they have said that
Oh, okay.
they're not familiar with the scene, like every friend I've asked. So either they're all just zoning out on the same chunk of story, or it hasn't been written. But there's a scene in season 4 where they show you like the White Walker home zone, and come on, brain. There's Craster's Keep. Whenever he has a son instead of a daughter, he gives them to the White Walkers. And like the end of this one episode is a White Walker bringing one of those babies into the place where all of the White Walkers, like the White Walkers' home, and they turn it into a White Walker, which was like the biggest mind explosion I've ever had, that White Walkers were all once human. And then they're like somehow necromantically, etc. They haven't explained it yet.
Because I don't know what that is, can you give me a very, very, very brief overview of what a White Walker is?
Remember at the very beginning of episode 1 when all those corpses came to life and killed people?
Yes.
That is the effect of a White Walker. Those were White Walker minions.
Oh.
And if I recall correctly, you actually see a White Walker somewhere in there. He's got like totally white skin and these bright blue eyes. I think you see him. You might not, though. If you don't see him, it's not a big deal.
I'm fairly certain that they said that White Walkers didn't get seen until much later on.
Okay, so you only see the effects of White Walkers.
Yeah.
But,
Creepy.
hey, Zack Attack, I warned you. I warned you in the podcast that there was a season 4 spoiler coming. That's when you mute things and just wait. Anyway.
Yeah, there was a pretty significant warning there, Zach. So,
I'm sorry, this is relatively new. I don't have a spoiler warning button to put up yet. It's in the pipes.
Oh, okay. That's fair. That's
No,
there
fair.
you go.
For the future.
Did we lose someone?
I don't know. Anyway.
I'm pretty sure he peaced out because he said peace out.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
All right.
Okay, anyway. Hodor with Sir Pounce as his advisor is my best guess. You know what, Nathan? I think I might have to change to your set of opinions. Hodor being the king of Westeros, possibly. God. Anyway, we've been talking about this for far too long for a single topic in the sporadic and insane Shenanigans and Ridiculosity podcast. emphasizing for anyone who hasn't
True.
watched Game of Thrones that you really need to go just watch it. It's worth it. So we're going to move on to the next topic, which I literally just found out about today. Everything else that I need to find an article so I can read some stuff directly to you. But everything else that I have seen has been, stuff that I've seen in the past week or so. But this I just saw 2 hours before starting the podcast. Who remembers back from when we were kids, we are here on the podcast, the Powerpuff Girls?
Yes.
Yes. One of those
Sugar,
shows.
spice, and everything nice. These were the ingredients used to create the perfect little girls. But Professor Plutonium accidentally added in a special ingredient to the concoction. Chemical X.
X.
Etc., etc.
Thus the Powerpuff Girls were born!
Oh no, keep going.
Really
Feel
glad
free.
I don't...
remember that.
Beyond that, I'd have to look it up. But
Okay, alright, well.
Love that.
Anyway.
That was great.
Bubbles and Buttercup.
Jeez. That's been dead since 2005 is when the last episode of that aired.
It will never die.
Wow.
And I know, right? Make you feel old. But the Powerpuff Girls is coming back to Cartoon Network with new art, new writers. Yeah,
Are
it's
they
coming.
teenagers?
No, it still looks like they're
What?
young. At least from this picture. And it's coming to Cartoon Network in 2016. It's... I don't even
Yes.
understand. For
Wait,
many
is it
of
the same
you-
art style, or is it
No, let me
Is this-
send you. I'll send you the link on Facebook. I can't manipulate Skype at all, but
the technologies? That is awesome.
gonna add you all to the
That would be a
conversation.
great reboot too.
There you go. There's the article that I've been reading, and you can see the picture of the art style in the reboot. And I will actually post that also in the comments so that everyone else can follow along with us. On
That's not so bad.
Oh, I can't hyperlink. Okay, well, I mean, I guess that makes sense for a live stream. Let's do this.
That's not so bad at all.
No, it looks actually really good. So I'm putting a space after the double slashes. No, it still knows. Okay, it knows.
It knows.
Go look it up,
They
nerds.
know.
Go look it up. You can Google
It's
it.
on
This one's on the Chicago
see.
Tribune.
Yeah,
But-
Chicago Tribune. Powerpuff Girls reboot coming to Cartoon Network in 2016. Just type something, some amalgamation of that.
I just searched Powerpuff Girls reboot, and it came up.
Oh, that is cool, actually.
That kind of makes
It's
me happy.
interesting.
Yeah.
I kind of like. Yeah.
It's one of those shows where I can't even imagine that the Powerpuff Girls is coming back. It was so beyond my worldview when I saw this announcement that it blew my mind multiple times over. I mean, Powerpuff Girls was my favorite show.
You know what that means, though?
What?
The return of Mojo Jojo.
Great fighter of all! His evil plans will be evil for evilness!
I can't wait for Mojo Jojo to come back.
God, they've got to keep
I really
his
hope they don't mess this up.
they've got to keep his incredibly racist
Yeah.
nonsense.
That she-male crab thing, crab devil.
Oh yeah, him.
Him, yeah.
Yeah. God.
It's so creepy, but it worked for our childhood, I suppose.
It was the best villain. The best villain. Oh my god. But yeah, so I mean, this is one of those shows that even though it was initially primarily for female audiences, well, I shouldn't say female, little girl audiences, it spread to pretty much everyone.
It was for its time, it was the acceptable My Little Pony.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And but a lot of the stuff that they did, was non-girl specific, so everyone could get into it, and a lot of people did. I don't think I can think of hardly 10 people that are in our age group that didn't watch Powerpuff Girls, at least some.
Yeah.
It's one of those shows that was fairly iconic for our youth, and I'm really excited about seeing it come back.
That makes me happy. I thought I had heard something about it a while back, but maybe it had just been a rumor, and I don't know. I don't know what it could have been. But that makes me more happy than I can put to words.
It is glorious. Mm-hmm. And anyone who's watching this podcast, seriously, if you didn't see it, you've got to. And hello, Austin. Welcome to the podcast. That's right. Well, we still have so few viewers. I'm going to announce you all, because I love you.
Player 2 has entered. Goliath Online.
Which he will love that. He will love that reference, Tree God.
Oh, God.
Wait, okay, on that same topic, on that same line, what show from your childhood that you don't know whether or not they would reboot would you like to see come back?
Wow, that's an amazing question.
Hold on. Say that again?
Okay, so if you could have... Yeah, here, I'll rephrase it. If you could have any show from your childhood come back, what show would it be?
Oh, hands down. Samurai Jack.
Yep, no, I've got to go with that. I was sitting there thinking, and I was fighting. I was like Outlaw Star. What were some of the other ones?
That was a good one, yeah.
Right? I'm thinking of several others that I want to say. The problem is they have continued. The problem is they've continued
very poorly.
Yeah. I'd like to see.
What ones?
Dragon Ball Z. I'd like to see it back when it was, Dragon Ball Z, rather than
that's fair.
Dragon Ball Z GTX +5. We have silver hair. This is retarded.
Hey, don't use that kind of language on your podcast.
Silver hair? What?
Yeah, I can't remember what it was, but I remember checking back into Dragon Ball Z years after I stopped watching.
Yeah, in Dragon Ball GT, they have silver hair.
It's like the 10th evolution of Super Saiyan or something.
Yeah, I was gonna say they're like multiples or something.
Yeah.
I think it's when the kids go 4, because the kids are technically on a different playing field than their parents.
Weird.
So it's when the kids both go to Super Saiyan 4 and then fuse together, they get silver hair or something like that.
That's just silliness. The point is, when I went back to it, I was very disappointed, and I just stopped watching it entirely. A couple other ones that might be fun would be Kim Possible, if they could bring it back without the horrible 90s jokes that were in it that were legitimately
I don't know what you guys saw in that show. I really don't.
I'm okay.
Keep in mind,
okay with the horrible 90s jokes.
You're actually a couple years older than we are. So
well, that's true.
You were probably out of the zone where that show was funny and interesting.
I had some refined tastes, so
as refined as you can get it to a young teenager.
I just love the look on your face when I said refined tastes. You're just like, oh, you're doing it again.
But yeah, I can really imagine a good Kim Possible reboot with no crappy 90s jokes. But that's kind of what made Kim Possible Kim Possible.
Yeah. It's a
I was going to say, that was...
Yeah. I went back and rewatched one or two of the seasons a month or two ago, and it was good because nostalgia, and that's the only reason.
Because nostalgia. I will not pretend like it was good for any other reason.
It's true. But all that being said, all those references that are just generally good things, good shows that I remember watching when I was a kid, and that would be fun to see good reboots. The mention you made to Samurai Jack. I have also rewatched that relatively recently, and it has aged perfectly well.
I'm so glad that's on Netflix.
Welcome back, Heimdall!
We're happy to have you.
Oh, yeah.
Anyway,
Some of us more than others. Get that guy
Apparently,
tag.
man.
Laugh.
but yeah, Samurai Jack coming back again, especially if they could get the same voice actors to do it, because I don't think any of them are dead yet.
Ooh, that would be cool.
I would
Yeah,
love,
I would be pretty happy for that.
without a doubt. As a completely... I'm going to create a tangent this time. I'm not going to create the topic. I'm going to tangent this up. What's going on? What's your current favorite cartoon?
Are we considering? Are you asking about cartoons or anime? Does anime count? Because I consider anime and cartoons to be separate.
I'm going to say that this question is going to have to stick towards Western-esque, at least. Okay. So, like, Avatar: The Last Airbender is... It was kind of initially intended to be an anime, but it became much more Western.
It was Western influenced.
Exactly. And so Avatar is The Last Airbender is a contender, or Avatar: Legend of Korra is a contender.
Now, does this have to be a series, or could it also be an animated movie?
Oh, dude, I didn't even think about that.
Because I haven't seen it yet, but I already know How to Train Your Dragon 2 is freaking awesome.
Fair enough.
Right.
Let's do this. Let's do a show and a movie. Spread it out, make it nice.
Heimdall, you want to get us started on that?
I have to think of a show because I haven't watched any recently. I could name favorites from a while ago. I got to think of something I've seen recently though.
Okay. Thorin, you want to take us up on that then? Or do you need time?
If we include anime, I've got something.
No, not including anime. Western.
Well, yeah. If Western.
Western
okay.
animation.
So as far as Western animation, yeah, Avatar: The Last Airbender, all the way. That's where it's at.
I can totally understand.
Obviously, not the film. We already covered this.
Oh, what film? It
The
never
live
happened. No.
No, it simply didn't happen.
Thorin, they haven't made an Avatar film yet.
Wait.
When they do, it's going to be awesome.
Oh yeah, it's gonna be great.
Wait, there's
we
an
should
Avatar
get
film?
on that.
Not yet.
Don't worry, Heimdall.
We should.
You haven't missed
No,
it yet.
no, you haven't missed it. It's cool.
No, you're good.
What a
It's
twist! It never happened.
Oh God. Anyway.
Oh.
All right, Thorin. Now, animated movie, Western-esque.
Oh, now for a movie.
Yes.
Oh gosh. Because it hit me right in the feels. Toy Story 3.
Fair enough.
I would have to say.
I can see that.
I think that's a respectable choice.
Yeah, just because. Okay, so the class below me had this a lot more than I did, but the class below me actually was them leaving college and going into, or leaving high school. Sorry, my mistake, and going into college. So they were right there with Andy, but I was like a freshman going sophomore, so I was still right there, and it was just like, oh,
Yep.
I want to go find all of my old toys now. It's like all of the relatability that they poured into that series, but specifically that film. I was just sitting there like, well done. That was the only animated trilogy that I would say got better with age. And there are a lot of people that disagree with me on that, but that was just my approximation.
I can see where you were going with that, though.
Yeah, I think it's fair.
You know what I'll still sit down and watch?
What's that? As he
Wow.
forgets.
Wow. Wow. Oh,
Nothing.
Pokemon.
Nothing.
Pokemon?
Does that count? Or do I have to pick a new one?
No, that's Western.
Yeah.
It's Western enough.
We'll let it happen.
It may be anime styled, but
got it. Ed, Ed, and Eddie.
Oh, yeah.
very good one.
Yeah.
Yes.
And what was your movie, Heimdall, that you mentioned?
How to Train Your Dragon 2.
Mm.
Heard wonderful
Technically
reviews
haven't
about
seen
that.
it.
But the How to Train Your Dragon series is very good.
Oh, it's so good.
So I'm gonna start with my movie. My favorite animated movie as of late has definitely been Frozen, the Disney movie, because that movie is awesome, and I don't care what anyone says, it is amazing. Disney did a wonderful job with that.
Hey, you'll get no complaints here.
I could watch that thing over and over again. Don't even care that it's a princess movie and that I'm an adult. I don't care.
Just don't even care. Just no.
Just let it go.
I will have my
Just let it go, man.
vodka martini. Oh God, you're horrible. I will sit there and watch Frozen with my vodka martini like an adult.
And then you build a damn snowman.
And
Oh,
he
God.
will understand how wonderful summer is. Just will.
I could totally see him putting his fist through the TV, drunk, just build the damn snowman.
God. No, I won't do that. Dear God, no. Oh my God. Anyway,
Oh, God.
and then my favorite.
I want video of that.
No, it's not gonna happen. It's never gonna. Because of this, I'm not gonna drink while I watch Frozen.
Make it happen. Make it happen.
Okay.
But my favorite series that's animated in recent years is definitely, without a doubt, Adventure Time.
Oh, so good.
So much I love
Very
it.
much a great show. Very
Oh,
much so.
Epiphany. Dexter's Lab.
Oh, that's another good one that needs a reboot. Holy crap.
Yes.
Yeah.
That was...
Pinky and the Brain.
Didn't watch that
Also
one as
very
much.
good.
Dun, dun,
So,
dun.
I would have to say, show-wise, Avatar: The Last Airbender, simply because of the fact. I mean, you it's hard to get much better than that. It really is. With development of the characters and storyline, how incredible it was, and how it started really light and childish, and then by the end of the series, you were so involved in the emotional trauma that these children, because ultimately they're children, are having to go through.
Yeah, I think Sokka's the oldest at what, like 15?
Yeah, it was incredible.
Yeah.
And I could not have asked for more out of a westernized show. I mean, it was very much like I watch anime more often than anything else, and it was, to me, it was very much on the same level as some of the best animes, which is hard to find out of a Western animated anything.
It's true. It's very true.
So, I was very happy with that. And as far as a movie goes, I'm a big fan of the classics, and nothing to me is more classic and more amazing than The Hunchback of Notre Dame. I have never seen a movie to equal it in my life as far as the animated movies go, just hands down. The music in that was brilliantly put together, and the storyline was, albeit historically inaccurate, it was incredibly compelling, and I could not have asked for more out of a movie at all. I sing it all the time. Whenever I think about it, I'm like, oh, now I have to watch that movie again. By the way, I know what I'm doing tonight.
That
Fair
villain,
enough.
though.
And the
Oh my god.
the rapey undertones, just
Uh-huh.
it was so. Oh, and the I know we shouldn't really talk about religion, but they had a very religious, a very heavy-handed religious message in there of how, wrong the rise to power can be. And so, not that we should discuss it at any length, but go watch the movie if you don't quite understand what I'm talking about, especially when he's singing to the fire. It's one of the most compelling scenes that Disney has ever done. So.
It's definitely in there, yeah. And it's a very good
They
scene.
did it.
Whether or not you agree with it, it's very,
Yeah.
very well done.
Yeah.
Have you guys seen Princess Mononoke?
Oh my god, yes. I have
Yes.
seen everything by Studio
Yes.
Ghibli.
But I was sticking
So
away
good.
from that simply because it's anime-esque.
I know. I just
Yeah.
had to mention it because it's so good.
No, yeah, I hands on agree with you. Okay, since it was a general consensus that there were multiple people shying away from anime, can we all just give one anime shout out?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, Samurai 7. Hands down.
Oh,
You sounded
Yes.
so sad to allow this.
It wasn't in the initial question, but I'm gonna go with Spirited Away.
Oh, so I already mentioned mine.
And Thorin?
so I have a list of shows I've watched.
Pick your favorite.
An Excel spreadsheet. I know that's. Oh gosh. Okay, I'm gonna go with what I'm going with right now, which is Hunter x Hunter the reboot. If you guys do, you
Not
guys
a
know
bad
what that
one.
is?
Yes, I do.
I do not.
Yes.
That is pretty damn good.
Fair enough. All right.
Yeah.
Well,
If you don't, at least take a look. It's good.
the next thing I want to wrap up this topic relatively quickly, but Mr. Austin Walker in the comments has an excellent question that we have not covered yet, which is which cartoons were the worst in the 90s, and I think we all have to pick one cartoon that you just hated and thought was stupid when you were a kid. Go Trigger.
Ooh. Johnny Bravo. Stupidest freaking show. Do the monkey with me. That's the only good thing that came out of that entire thing. Do the monkey with me. Him and his.
You read my mind.
Yeah.
Just so bad.
Yeah. It was terrible.
So are you guys also both going with Johnny Bravo?
Bananas in pajamas.
God, I haven't even heard of that.
Yeah.
I haven't either.
Okay.
Yeah.
Uh,
Don't. Just don't.
I won't. I won't. I won't go for it. God, anyway.
I was gonna say Care Bears, but I actually did watch that.
Yeah. Well, I remember when I was very young, I saw some of that. That was the movie. I watched the Care Bears movie.
And you loved it.
Well, I mean, I think I watched it when I was like 7. I think I liked it a lot. I mean, it's kind of hard to remember.
Have you ever gone back to like an old movie and gone, "What did I see in this?" What?
So many times. Okay, so I for me, out of the ones that I saw, the dumbest one I ever knew of was Ren and Stimpy. I know that some people thought it was funny, and apparently there were a lot of jokes in that were meant for an older audience, so you could like watch it with your kids.
Be quiet, you idiot.
Yeah, but as someone who was watching it when, I mean, you know, somewhere in the realm of 8 to 12, if that, even, I can't, once again, so long ago, I can't remember. God, that show was bad. I remember even young just hating it so much.
Oh, okay. So everybody always forgets this kid show, right? But as soon as I say it, you're going to immediately know it, and it's going to be one of those shows.
Mm-hmm.
Kablam.
Oh, yep, that was awesome.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Gosh.
Really?
Dude,
Kablam!
I didn't have Cartoon Network. I did
wasn't
not have,
Cartoon
If
Network.
it was on Cartoon Network, I didn't have it.
No, I'm pretty sure it wasn't Cartoon Network.
no, it was Nickelodeon.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Same Kablam time, same Kablam network. Action Heroes Now?
That sounds fantastic.
Did you never saw that?
No, I never saw that. There is one though. There was a show that was really. Oh gosh, what was it?
You were deprived as a child.
Mr. Freak. Oh. Have you ever heard of Freakazoid?
Yes. Yes,
Runs
I have.
around in his underwear.
Freakazoid.
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 I think a couple of us have heard of that, yes. I believe
No,
that's a thing.
I don't.
It's just possible that it's left. Okay, now, this has been a wonderful conversation. I'm sure we could go on about this for another 10, 20 minutes, but I've got
Yes, we
one last topic that I'd
Can
like.
I interject quickly?
Yes, quickly.
In the chat, I don't know whether can you put links?
Oh, no,
Or-
we can't.
Oh,
Right.
there's no links.
Yeah,
No.
we'll just have to watch that. It's a video called Bananas and Pajamas Intro.
Yes, because
Look it up on YouTube, guys. It is awesome.
And I will watch it after the podcast. I can't check it out right now.
You guys need to watch it. so you can know Austin and my pain.
And mine.
Good.
I'll watch that show.
Oh, God.
I'm putting it in the YouTube search for after the podcast as well.
All right. Anyway, so the last
Yeah.
topic of the night, we've actually managed to get through everything only by cutting off conversations before they end, but that's okay because we're awesome. The last topic, Heimdall alluded to earlier, is a new game that's just come out known as WildStar.
Right.
It's wild, man.
It is wild. It is, in fact, wild. For those of you who are unfamiliar with it, go to wildstaronline.com, I think it's called. See, Tree God's already shaking his head. There's clearly some differing opinions here. So, since Heimdall brought it up first, I'm gonna let him start his discussion, and then I'll let the dissenting voice of Tree God pop into it.
Okay. So the most that I've played of WildStar is in the beta. I just played, got in there and tried it out. I enjoyed it. It's definitely a new feel, and I think it's really good. I love the questing system, the interface, everything feels really smooth. But I have great impressions at the start. Warlords of Draenor may kill it. No,
No.
no.
I'm calling no.
No response there.
I'm calling no on this. I don't think Warlords of Draenor is going to hurt WildStar at all.
I think it may have some impact. Not a lot. I think WildStar will do a lot better than any other MMO has in a long time.
Oh, yeah.
But yeah, no, I enjoy it. I have not picked it up yet.
You should.
But I should.
You should. Anyway, Tree God.
So WildStar and I have a love-hate relationship. Here's why. I love that game, and I hate that I can't play it. With a fiery passion. Seriously, if I could... Well, that's a big bug. Sorry. If I could remove my own kidneys, sell them on the internet, and not die from selling both of them, if that would get me a couple months subscription in the game, then I would be playing. And if it did kill me, then I would just not get as many months worth of subscription, because, they'll go to waste.
That's fair. That's very logical.
Yeah. That game was amazing during the beta, and I've been watching it over Mort's shoulder, and it just looks freaking epic. And I know that there are other people who are going to be watching this podcast who are going to love it. And if you haven't seen anything on it yet, you've been living under a rock. Go find out. It's amazing.
It really is. So on that note, I have been playing it. I've been playing it a lot. I played when I could in beta, and when it came out, I went for it hardcore. I haven't been able to spend as much time as I'd like on it because, life is busy, but I do what I can, and I have continued to have just endless amounts of fun with it. I've done some of the dungeons, which are, and keep in mind, this is I can't remember if it's the first or second dungeon. I feel like it's the first dungeon, called Storm Talon's Lair. I think that's what it's called. It is effectively like the Deadmines equivalent from World of Warcraft to WildStar. It plays like some of the better raids in World of Warcraft as a PvP or PvE experience. It's so good. I actually have fun in that instance, and it's hard. It is not like Deadmines in
Really?
WoW. No, yeah, it's WildStar's PvE content. Assuming you're not just like out farming in the regular world, if you're actually fighting bosses or doing 5-man instance groups, it takes all 5 of you, and you have to be reasonably good. Like, it's tough. It's incredibly challenging, and not in like the stats game way that WoW kind of turned into for raiding, where you just have to have the right numbers, but legitimately difficult playing wise. And it's so refreshing to see in an MMO, and I'm gonna keep playing it until I die. For those of you who would like to play with me, I'm on the Realm Roudhauser on the United States server, and we actually have a guild, SaR. My name is Mortinian. Surprise, surprise. Feel free to contact me, and if you're contacting me via YouTube, just say so, and I will invite you right on into the guild. That's not a problem at all. Yeah, but all that being said, it's an amazing game. Amazing game.
Truly. Deeply.
It looks like you've been looking up stuff on it, which is why I
Yep.
went ahead and took that spot from you. What do you think?
Yep. Okay, so the art style. Okay, so and this is me like literally not really having any background on it until just now. But I figured this would come up, but I forgot to look up stuff on it earlier. I apologize. Just from what I've been finding, IGN has looked up some stuff on it, PC Gamer. So far, it's been actually giving pretty high ratings. The only one I haven't looked up yet is Metacritic. But from the reviews I've seen on here, nothing bad is really coming up, which is impressive, especially for an MMO. Yeah, Metascore is like around 86, and the user score is 8.1. So yeah, this is impressive. This is really impressive. I don't know how many of you out there have looked up reviews on games. I do it before I buy a game. Like every time I buy a game, I look up reviews for it. You normally see scores this high for things like Elder Scrolls, like that sort of stuff, which, albeit whether or not you believe that they merit that high of a score, they are darn good selling games and always have been and probably always will be. So for a game to just come out of nowhere, and especially an MMO, have this high of a rating, you don't see that very often. So, I mean, just from the little bit of research I've done on here, I have high hopes for this. It looks like it definitely has promise.
And like you were saying, usually you only see that with like games that have a pre-set up fan base.
Yep.
Something where the company has made so much money off the game already that they can afford to splurge on the good stuff. And WildStar doesn't have that.
Yep.
It came right out of the gate being impressive. So, I mean, that's just something that's amazing.
It is. And as far
The
as
last time I feel like something like this happened was Portal or something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like something that was just like bent or invented a new genre. Like that's impressive.
I completely agree. The two comments I have about the game, the first is it sort of came out of nowhere, but at the same time it didn't. Carbine Studios, which is the people who produced the game, is I don't know what percentage of it is now, but when they formed, they were almost entirely made up of people who left the World of Warcraft production team. And this was back in the days of like Burning Crusade era, if I recall correctly. So, in my opinion, some of the best material that World of Warcraft has ever had. I haven't seen the recent stuff, so I can't comment on that, but it was the team that was working on stuff actively before that gigantic lull in subscriptions that they had for a while there. And they were the basis for what made WildStar what it is. So it's not at all surprising that it's as amazing of a game coming from that kind of talent pool.
And the talent pool is great and everything,
Makes
but
sense.
when it comes down to it, as far as your player base, they're going to follow the brand name more often than anything else.
Yeah.
So you may have people from WoW, but only people who have really looked into it are going to know that. And the fact that WildStar has still managed to get such a calling, despite the fact that, a lot of people don't know that fact. A lot of people don't know about it. That is just an amazing feat. And if more people did know that, or, people who paid a little bit more attention to stuff like that, then I think that it would have an even larger following.
I agree.
Yeah.
And then the other thing about playing it, my kind of like shorthand review of the game is I have found precisely one problem so far in that game that has really bothered me. And that is that the game is not yet optimized. That's literally it. Just takes too much processor. It's a brand new game that the coding is just still really coarse. Bugs at this point are present, but incredibly minimal. I think I've found like 1, maybe 2 with all the hours I put in. I love it so much, and the number one thing that's going to keep them back and reduce players' experience is the fact that you do at this point need a pretty solid CPU, RAM, graphics card, etc. to run it well.
Yeah, I mean, my PC is set up to do some tremendous things, and even it has serious issues with the game. Although, granted, I have a really small hard drive, so that could be the problem that I was having.
Yeah, some hard drive read-write speeds.
Yeah, so I mean...
Yeah.
But the fact that it does require a lot of heavy computer pieces is going to deter those with less funds from being able to play, so...
True facts. Heimdall, do you have any final thoughts before we wrap up?
I just gotta pick it up and get in the game.
I just gotta
go pick it up before we all murder you.
I agree completely.
It takes me back to the South Park episode with Butters playing his Hello Kitty Island adventure.
Oh my god.
Go
Okay.
store, buy World
Sounds
of Warcraft,
awesome.
and join the online sensation before we all murder you.
Very similar. Okay, anyway, it's time to wrap up. So once again, we're going to go through everyone. Just say who you are, what you do, where we can find you. Starting the same order we went through last time.
I am SAR Tree God. You can find me on my YouTube channel at SAR Tree God, go figure. And I do a bunch of gaming videos and cool stuff, and you should come and enjoy it because SAR Troop is obviously the best. So.
Alright, and again, I am SAR Heimdall. You can find me on YouTube at SAR Heimdall, and on Twitter at @the_MRandall. Other than that, I think that's all my social media. More videos to come soon, since I'll have more time to produce them. Yeah.
And if you want to find me, SAR Thorin, as in Oak and Shield, that one. You can find me on YouTube at SAR Thorin. There's nothing there right now, so I would recommend just going on over to these fine gentlemen for the time being. But I hope to have something within the coming months. So
Months? Come on, man. Weeks. Get on this.
Tomorrow. Tomorrow.
tomorrow, right? Yeah.
You have been sagging in your duties for recording. How terrible.
When this is over, you better already have content on YouTube.
So does that mean I'm claiming the podcast then? Is that mine now? Or?
No, that's on my channel. I bought the expensive program. It is on my channel. You're all going to deal with that.
I am totally fine with that.
Okay, Damien. Rictus Dominus.
My name is SaR Mortinian. You can find me here on my channel, SaR Mortinian on YouTube, and you can find me on Twitter at SAR_Mortinian, where I will talk about things, especially if you follow me, because I will have people to talk to, a key component of talking to people. Thank you for watching the SAR podcast. We all love you very much. Please like, favorite, subscribe, comment. You've been doing wonderful. But like, favorite, subscribe, all of our channels. We will continue to produce quality content for you, and we're hoping to make this a weekly event. And, yeah, thank you for watching the premiere episode. I think
Arigatou gozaimasu.
Hey. Why does a hamburger yield lower energy than a steak? Because it's in the ground state. Ah.